Question 6. Listen to part of a lecture in a zoology class. Today, we'll talk about the correlation between the temperature of a particular environment and the body size of animals living in that environment. As you know, every animal evolves to survive in a specific environment. And while there are a great many factors that affect the evolutionary process, the temperature of the environment has a significant impact on the animals living there. Many scientists believe that the temperature especially influences the size of animals. And what's interesting in this regard is that in hotter temperatures, homoeothermic animals tend to be small, while heterothermic animals tend to be large. First, homoeothermic animals are those which can maintain their own internal body temperature at a constant level in any environment. The reason they tend to be smaller in hotter regions is that smaller animals have a higher surface area to volume ratio than larger animals, and so they're able to release more body heat per unit of mass. As a result, it's easier for them to maintain their internal body temperature even in hot climates. Colder temperatures impose the opposite problem for homoeothermic animals, since body heat generated by an animal's metabolism needs to be stored in its body to maintain temperature. Thus, the lower surface area to volume ratio of larger animals helps them to maintain body temperature in cold climates. In contrast, a heterothermic animal is one which can't change its body temperature by itself, and which needs heat from the environment to raise its body temperature. So why do they tend to be larger in hotter environments? Well, this is because they can easily raise their body temperature in hot weather, whereas in a cold environment it's much harder for them to catch the necessary heat. So, in hot environments, these animals spend less time to raise their body temperature, which means they have more time to search for and find food, and so they can grow to a larger size as a result. On the other hand, in cold environments, they need to minimize the amount of heat needed to raise their body temperature, and so they evolve to lessen their body mass and become small. Using points and examples from the talk, explain the correlation between environmental temperature and the size of animals living in the environment.
Prepare your answer after the beep. Begin speaking after the beep.
In the lecture, the professor explains the link between the temperature and body size of animals in an environment by using the examples of two different types of animal. First, he explains that animals which maintain their own body temperature tend to be smaller in a hot environment. This is because it is easier for small animals to release body heat in a hot environment. So, this helps them to maintain the same temperature. Second, he explains that animals which need heat from the environment to raise their body temperature tend to be bigger in a hot environment. This is because it is easier to raise their body temperature in a hot environment. So, They have more time to find food, and they grow as a result.